The darkness is overwhelming. Not within my heart. No, that would be silly. I mean, physically, visually. It's a relentless, oppressing darkness that refuses to ease on me for even one moment. And it's cold, too. Not just your traditional run-of-the-mill, chill-to-the-bones, ice cold, but something far beyond that. Something past the bones. Right in your heart, your stomach, your liver. In the core of your body, you feel the coldness stab you like a machete. Over and over again. The darkness and the cold attack me as a predator attacks its prey. But this isn't the same. The darkness and the cold are playing with me before the kill. I'm confined to a tight space, like a room with no windows or door. The walls feel like they're made of a compressing yet sharp metal, and they slowly push down on me. Slowly and slowly still. I'm crushed by the impending pain that is the room. The room that's so very dark and so very cold. This is the dream that I have every single night of my pathetic life. I dread closing my eyes for fear of the dream. It doesn't scare me, but rather makes it clear to me how useless I am. The dream is how I feel at all hours of every day, physically and emotionally. That is, except for when I'm living the thrill. Without this thrill, I would have strung myself up by the neck years and years ago. Or perhaps tossed myself off a building. The thrill has saved me, and so in return, I dedicate my life to it. Right now, I'm in contact with a woman by the name of Catherine St. Marthing. A miserable person indeed. It or she is rich beyond man's wildest imaginations. I've known Catherine for nearing 5 years now. She trusts me with her life and, more importantly, her money. I don't know why I'm telling you all of this, but besides perhaps to brag that I'll have dozens of millions of dollars that you never will. Near Houston, Texas, there's a dreadful place called Galveston. It seems to run entirely on fish and tourism. Well, mostly. What I did not mention is the abundance of massive offshore oil rigs scattered across the Gulf of Mexico and other bodies of water in the region. It's truly quite convenient that one of my closest companions, Michael Kindheart, just happened to get a job on one of them about a year ago to this day. We've come up with a scheme. During one of our visits, I'll make an excuse to suddenly leave and tell her I have some business to attend to, and this will pique her interest. As she sees me leave the door, I'll accidentally drop an envelope containing information regarding a substantial reservoir of oil that has recently been discovered on one of those oil rigs, specifically the one with Mike, and that I'm buying in on it and becoming one of the biggest private oil men in the world. Over the course of the next month, I will implant the idea within her head and make her believe that it came to her quite naturally, that it was her plan from the start. Primates have an amusing habit of having the fear of missing out. She will believe that this oil platform was or has recently come across one of the largest reserves ever encountered by humanity, yet it's still secret to nearly everyone on Earth. I will tell her that I met Michael while out in the bar one night, and that we hatched the scheme to invest and receive our money back tenfold. Then, we would split it 50-50. Upon learning this, Catherine will be upset I didn't offer this scheme to her, and will insist that I and her invest together instead. It would be easy enough to ruin her by tomorrow, really, but I can't bring myself to do it. I'm scared. I'm scared of ending the thrill, ending my life. Acquiring her immense wealth will leave my entire life futile. There is nothing I want besides ending the thrill. But when it ends, so do I. I simply cannot go on any further once it's all over. And neither can Catherine. She will likely end up in the same fate as me, taking an excessive amount of sleeping pills or ring, ring, ring. Waking from my daydreaming, I become aware of the sudden and incessant ringing on my telephone. It's probably Mike, wanting a date on when we want to start our scheme. I realize I've been staring out the window for hours, into the darkness of the night. My eyes flash towards my electric alarm clock, slowly flashing the number 313. What the hell is he calling me so early in the morning for? I slowly limp over to my smartphone, my fingers clamping around it tightly upon arrival. Pressing the green answer button, my clammy hands raise the phone to my ear. At first, I'm greeted by nothing but low, almost bored-sounding breathing. It was as if whoever called was not aware that I had answered. Now that I think about it more, it was an unknown number. It didn't read scam likely or anything of the sort. The number didn't even match my area code. For about 10 seconds, at the end of which I was near hanging up, there was nothing but the chilled breathing. Then, a sharp and annoyed voice greeted me like I was intruding on them. What the fuck do you want? It must have been a wrong number. I glared at my phone, somewhat disgusted, before deciding to respond in a simple and timely fashion. I don't know what the problem is, but I believe you are the one who called me, sir. I don't believe we have an issue, but if you want to start one, so be it. Trevor, stop screwing around. You know full well who it is, and I want to know what you want. Can you goddamn answer me so I can go back to sleep? Trevor. I haven't used that name in, well, a long time. 17 years, give or take. It was my real name. No one's called me that since the last time in Staten Island, my home. My thrill used to come from running for a couple of drug empires. The crack cocaine epidemic, which was a major problem all those years ago, had me pretty busy. I would spend days at a time without sleep, constantly out hustling to the fiends on the street. One day, it stopped thrilling me, so I stopped. Ran away. What are you talking about, Daniel? Jesus Christ, you son of a bitch. I know full well Mike told you the new plan. You're out. How much money you want before we call the cops on your ass? What? No, this can't be happening. No, what? I hung up the phone. I didn't care about the money, I cared about the job, the thrill. My phone began to ring again, which led me to throwing it under my boot and stomping on it several times. I began to feel cold and compressed, my room darkened, my lights went out. The windows disappeared. I rushed towards the door in my confusion, a migraine forming in my head. My hand phased through the doorknob, and then it just disappeared. I was in the room. I started to hyperventilate, unable to swallow. It felt like a rock was shoved into my throat. In fact, I felt like it was turning into one big rock. I couldn't move. My vision subsided. I collapsed onto the floor and started to spasm, blinking rapidly to try and make it all stop. I can't live like this anymore. I can't do it. Every day is the same cycle of the room. The thrill was gone. It was all gone. Darkness. And in a flash, it was over. I opened my eyes. I could swallow. And it was warm. Reaching my hands toward my forehead, I realized I had hit it when I fell. My forehead was sticky with crimson juices, which I wiped off onto the carpet. Michael, the bastard sold me out. Why? Was that all a dream? I can't separate reality from my dreams anymore. It's all muddled together, shoved into one linear timeline. Still on the floor, I looked to my side to view my completely destroyed phone. This drew an exhausted sigh from the depths of my lungs. I reached my arms out and shoved against the floor to lift myself. I slowly limped over to my balcony and drew it open. My sleeve contained a pack of Camels, of which I drew one to light. I stared at it between my fingers for several seconds before tossing it over the edge, longingly watching it float down towards the ground below. I considered joining it. Not yet, I thought. Not yet. I limped back inside towards my slightly agape laptop, of which I'm sat at right now writing this all out. I've decided to leave out most details of my life. It is private after all. I'm going to go join that cigarette as soon as I'm done typing. I still don't know why I'm sharing this. I truly don't. Maybe I want to just get it off my chest. Maybe I want to warn people not to go down my direction in life. However vague that may be. Maybe I'm just bored. Who knows? Yeah, that's probably it. Bye.